Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we're going to be going over a very special Audi RS5. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to the strong Audi here in Salt Lake City, Utah for giving me some time with this RS5. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Landon. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a twin-turbo 2.9-liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 18 around town and then 25 on the highway, with power outputs being 444 horsepower and then 443 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention if you see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, this is called Navara Blue, if you guys are wondering. It's like a purplish blue. It's very beautiful. But anyways, really distinctive lines there on the hood, which look cool. And then coming down below, you guys can see there with the LED daytime running lights and then with the LED headlamps as well. We've got parking sensors integrated in the front end. We've got all of the blacked out Audi badges and everything, including the RS5 badge. And yeah, altogether, it's a good look. I mean, look at that. That thing comes down the street, you know it means business. Come around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 275, 30, 20 in the front and over in the rear as well. And just look at these bronze wheels. In contrast with this blue, it's such a cool look. And getting closer, look at that. We got ceramics happening here. We got quite a bit of action. It'll be interesting to see how these brakes actually handle on road. But what I also do want to mention is this does come with the RS Sport suspension and the dynamic ride control. And then once you put it all together, the wheels with the blue, I mean, again, this color like really shifts from like blue to purple kind of. And then you guys can see there with the ground effect, how that's all blacked out. I mean, it's just, let me know if you like it. I think it's a pretty cool look. I almost forgot to mention RS5, and then look at that carbon fiber mirror cap. Now here's our key fob. We have our unlock function or lock function, and then the opening here for the hatch. Now popping inside, the RS5 is actually very practical. I just reviewed an RS6 before this, and this obviously doesn't have as much storage space as an RS6, but surprisingly solid. And then you guys can see the cargo cover already built in, and look at those vacuum lines, my goodness. But there's the trunk. And then when you're all done, just press that button right there and that will lower everything right back down. Now you have these super fancy sequential lights, which Audi's kind of known for at this point. And then all the badges are all blacked out here on the back as well. And then you'll notice we have more of that like satin finish or matte finish carbon fiber. That's really cool. And then yes, those exhaust tips, really aggressive. And when you put it all together with the little low profile spoiler there, I think this is a very handsome looking car. And then popping inside, this has an Audi exclusive interior, so you guys can see the Alcantara, and then look at the leather here with the stitching and then the carbon fiber. Definitely a cool look. And then here are these seats. Again, look at that stitching. That color looks so cool with these seats. It kind of matches the wheels actually. Now this is not really representative of legroom because the seats kind of push back a little bit. That's a little bit more accurate. But anyways, we got our own little like temperature situation back here so we can kind of adjust the climate. Heated seats in the back. We got some charging ports as well. And then headroom's actually pretty solid back here. And if you're wondering, this does in fact have a cup holder armrest situation. Actually, I have to open this up and then I can open this up. Yeah, fancy. And then here is our front door panel. You guys can see again, Audi exclusive there. And then look at the leather trim with the contrasted stitching. All of our window controls with our mirror adjustments. And then again with the carbon fiber. And they do have our memory seat functionality as well. And then again, look at those mirrors. Pretty cool looking with the carbon fiber. And then with the front seat, you guys can see the RS logo. And then look at the design in the center of the seat. And then we have all of our adjustments here on the side, including the lumbar massage seat function too. And then we have our RS5 logo there. And then look at the pedal layout, pretty fancy. And then more carbon fiber, and this basically surrounds the whole light control situation. Now here's a quick look at our steering wheel. Again, we've got that golf ball texture all around, which looks really cool, and it feels really cool as well. RS logo right there, paddle shifters here for the 8-speed automatic. We have our little RS mode there with the heated steering wheel button right next to it. And then we got some controls for the center stack. And of course we have our turn signal stock, cruise control stock, windshield wiper stock. Now this has Audi's full digital gauge cluster, so we can scroll through some different menus and you can change how things look with the view button. It's one of the big benefits of this whole gauge cluster setup. My favorite is like kind of having it look like that. And then if I press that RS button, Notice how it changes into RS1, you got RS2, and then just have your regular dynamic mode that you can go into. And there's other drive modes too, but just another fancy thing. Now in reverse, you guys can see you've got a backup camera with trajectory lines that do turn with the steering wheel, and resolution on the camera is actually fantastic. And this does have a full 360 camera system, so you can see out of every single angle with the car, which just makes parking that much easier. Even though this isn't a big enough car to really need it, it's cool that it has it. Now, as for the rest of the infotainment system, you got a shortcut bar here on the side, but while we're in the drive mode select area, you guys can see you got a comfort, auto, and dynamic, and again, you got the RS1 and RS2. Overall response time with the screen is actually really solid. This has the RS monitor. Let's see if it has anything fancy with the seats. We got massaging seats in this thing. This is fancy. That RS6 that I just reviewed didn't even have massaging seats. But yeah, good system. Now down below you guys can see our dual zone climate controls, and we also have heated seats here for the front. And then down below that we've got like our drive mode select, you've got this for the stability control if the camera will focus on it, parking assist, parking sensors, and then that's just to turn off the screen. Got some USB 12-volt action right there with our engine stop start, and then you guys can see a couple cup holders. Now this section right here is kind of interesting. You got like this massive carbon fiber on one side, and then you got like leather trim on the other side. Pretty interesting. But again, golf ball texture there on the shifter. We've got your manual shift function, RS logo. You got your parking brake right there, and then, volume control. Center console with a wireless phone charging pad. And of course, carbon fiber Quattro logo there on the dash, and then you can see glove box has decent amount of storage space. And then up top here, you guys can see you've got controls for the sunroof. This has like a big-ish sunroof. Now this is where things get fun. So you guys can see the blue paint, 600 bucks, relative bargain. The Audi exclusive bronze package, $12,000. So yeah, you better like those bronze wheels and the blacked out badges and everything, because it's going to cost you a bit. And then the Dynamic Plus package, which gives you the ceramic front brakes that we talked about a little bit earlier. And you guys can see the Dynamic package, which adjusts up with the suspension, gives you red brake calipers. And then everything else that this has. So base MSRP was $76,200, total MSRP $105,055. That's a huge difference. Let's see how this thing drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, and hope you can now see the heads-up display. Both the mirrors do a blind spot monitoring. Then throw the rest of the rear, and let's set off. Okay, so we are setting off in the RS5 actually for the second time. I drove all but 2 feet and then got a tire pressure warning, and then I'm like, oh no, did the worst nightmare situation happen? And no, it didn't. It's just because it's cold outside, and this car was inside, but now that it's been outside for a minute, the tire pressure has now had a chance to lower down, obviously, and so now we have our tire pressure warning. So no big deal. It happens. This transport truck that's full of Nissans is mega. It actually has some Audis on the back. It's mega in the way. Okay, actually officially getting up and going in the RS5 here. I'm driving this back to back with an RS6, and so it'll be interesting to just see the difference in the driving dynamics with both of the vehicles. What I can tell you is this isn't as luxurious as the RS6, which I kind of expected, because again, this is a smaller car and it's kind of more oriented towards the sport side of things, so it actually makes sense. So yeah, ride quality is not as good, noise insulation isn't as good, but it definitely feels so much smaller. Like this feels like a much smaller, more nimble type vehicle. The RS6, it feels like the wagon that it is, if that makes sense. I love the steering wheel. Seat comfort's really good. I could be getting a massage right now. That is something that is very appealing. And then, yeah, overall, like, I would say luxury car drivability is pretty good. But this definitely you can feel is more tuned on the sport side of things. Now, I can say with those front ceramics, it doesn't feel weird at all. Like, I don't feel that weird like jittery stop. Like sometimes with ceramics, you can basically, like, you press in the brake pedal a little bit and then nothing happens, and then you press a little bit more and then you're like, it's like a teenager trying to learn how to drive a car. So I'm pleasantly surprised to say that it doesn't do that. And overall, I like the feel of this. One thing that I will critique Audi for, though, so this trim up here, it's soft touch and on the dash, but it should be leather. Like for the $12,000 exclusive package that this has, this should be like, just like in the RS6, it should be like nice leather and stitching at the top and then also on the dash as well. I'm not saying they have to do that in the regular RS5, but you know, $12,000 exclusive package, I think they can afford to put a little bit more leather in the car. Oh, our tire pressure warning's gone. There you go. Tires heated up a little bit and now we are back in action. But I still stopped because it's better to be safe rather than sorry. Don't want to have to pay for a bronze Audi exclusive wheel if there was an actual flat tire, you know what I mean? Ooh, that's aggressive. Super loud once you go into the dynamic setting. Whoa, 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 that's, oh my goodness. Okay, I ain't trying to make fun of the RS6 because that definitely has, you know, a cooler engine. It's a 4-liter V8, but man, this engine is a monster. It sounds better in my opinion. I know that's gonna be sacrilege because V6 versus V8, but this thing, I like this a lot more. Wow, that's annoying. That's annoying. Okay, so fully summing things up here with this RS5. The reason I said that it's annoying that I like this more is like, I don't know, like you're not supposed to. You're supposed to like the more like premium, expensive version of a vehicle more, but somehow this just, I don't know, it feels better. So here's the deal. I think that, oh man, this is a tough one. I think that the RS6 is a really cool vehicle. I do, however, think that this is a little bit more exciting to drive, a little bit more lightweight. I think it sounds better. But I mean, man, it's tough. There's a big price difference between them. I don't know, let me know which one you guys would choose, but like, I think I would choose an RS4 Avant. But they don't sell that in the US. So this is like the closest thing we can get to an RS4 Avant because it's got kind of more of that, like, it's got a hatch and it's got kind of more of that styling. But let me know what you guys think about this overall, and let me know what you think about the exclusive package. That's gonna sum things up with our video on this RS5. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Strong Audi here in Salt Lake City, Utah for giving us some time with this RS5. Check out the inventory in the description down below. Ask for Landon if you have any questions. I'll see ya.